Just eat me, go ahead and let me. Trying to make that be tight.
Okay, hold on. I don't want to lose my...
No, I didn't touch anyone.
I haven't touched it.
Ladies and gentlemen, assisting with the processional this evening is the Kansas City Celtic Pipes and Drums performing Wings and Rowan Tree. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you direct your attention to the front of the stage on stage right and stage left, and stand for the processional of the Staley High School class of 2022, Aspire to Soar.
They bring it down. There she is. Lily! Wearing a bow tie. Get close to that black Yeah, that's
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Graduate candidates, please be seated. Welcome to the podium, the principal of Staley High School, Dr. Larry Smith.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the 2022 Staley High School Commencement Ceremony. Today is Staley's 13th annual commencement. We are excited to be here today to recognize our seniors for their accomplishments and achievements over the last 4 years. Through their 4 years, these seniors have demonstrated excellence both inside the classroom and beyond. At Staley, we consistently remind ourselves of the qualities we want our graduates to possess. Characteristics like having a learner's mindset, being an effective communicator, a problem solver, being collaborative, having adaptability, empathy, and grit. It is our goal that our graduates leave having developed these characteristics. as well as the persistence to work until the objective is achieved. I can tell you that our seniors here tonight have achieved this goal. Tonight, as a school community, we celebrate their individual and collective gifts, their accomplishments, and their achievements. And we recognize our seniors for their commitment to soar through service, ownership, achievement, and respect. We are honored to have with us this evening several individuals who play key roles in the North Kansas City Schools District. As I call your name, please stand and remain standing. Please hold all applause until I have recognized each individual. To my right, North Kansas City Schools Board of Education members Paul Harrell and Carrie Gleason Miller. Also, Superintendent Dr. Daniel Clements and Deputy Superintendent Dr. Chad Sutton. To my left, rounding out the platform party, our Assistant Principals, Mr. Ken McCooey and Dr. James Wheeler. And also in attendance, we have our remaining administrative team and our Staley High School faculty. Thank you all for your service to North Kansas City Schools and to Staley High School. Can you please join me in giving them all a round of applause for their efforts? Throughout the evening, please refer to your commencement program for students who showed distinction and scholarship at Staley High School. This evening, we will also be hearing from 2 seniors and 1 faculty member who have been chosen to share a message with the class of 2022. And finally, I'm sure all of us will be spending time reflecting and reminiscing this evening as we remember and celebrate our graduates, the class of 2022. This class had their education disrupted in ways we've never seen before, and yet, through all of the challenges, with the support of their teachers, their family and friends, they found a way to soar. It has been a joy and an honor to watch this class as they have grown over the years to become the young men and women they are today, poised and ready to be leaders in their next phase of life. Staley, class of 2022, we are proud of you. I would like to take this opportunity to extend my personal congratulations to the members of tonight's graduating class and their families. It has been my honor to serve as your principal for the last 4 years. Best wishes for a bright and happy future. Continue to aspire to soar.
Please welcome to the podium North Kansas City Schools Board of Education member Paul Harrell as he brings the opening proclamation.
Good evening. Whereas on this day, Tuesday, May 17th, 2022, Staley High School will conduct their 13th annual commencement exercises at Hy-Vee Arena for the class of 2022.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please stand, and gentlemen, please remove your caps as we join in a moment of silence and remembrance for the students in the class and all choir members. Please make your way to the stage area. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. And Stanley Senior Choir members, you may return to your seat. At this time, please welcome back to the podium Stanley Principal Dr. Smith to introduce our commencement student speakers.
On behalf of the faculty and staff of the 13th graduating class of Staley High School, it is my honor to introduce our student speakers. Ralph Emerson once said, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." Class of 2022, each of you have different talents, different dreams, and different destinations, but we all have the same power to make a new tomorrow. It is my honor to introduce our two commencement student speakers. Our first student speaker will be Miss Haley Gifford. Haley lives with her mother, Tiffany McGinnis. This fall, Haley will be attending the University of Kansas and plans to major in business. Our second speaker will be Miss Elizabeth Dean. Elizabeth's parents are Bill and Deborah Dean. Elizabeth will be attending Truman State in the fall, where she plans to major in music education. At this time, please welcome our first student speaker, Miss Haley Gifford.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here to recognize this outstanding achievement for the class of 2022. In order to fully grasp what these years have meant to us, I have prepared a list of 100 things that I have learned in high school, and I would like to share them all with you. I'm just kidding. It's only 5. The first thing is to enjoy it while it lasts. High school came and went. I can still remember how nervous I was for freshman first day. Similarly to how I felt last night, knowing I'd be graduating today. But the journey makes moments like these meaningful. Be involved. You are not too cool for school or too cool for life. Whatever you decide to do will be your future, so be amazing at it. Staley High School has 2 sayings for a reason: Falcon Grit and Soar. These both are ingrained in our minds, and we should hold on to those, pursuing life with tenacity and vigor. The second thing is don't be afraid of a challenge. Nobody said that accomplishing your goals is going to be easy, but that should never stop you from trying. I didn't have many goals going into high school. I just wanted to get the hang of things. But as time went on, I found myself pursuing other things that I never even thought of. For example, running for Stuco and class officer, becoming DECA vice president, and starring in a musical Grease. Okay, I wasn't exactly the star, but I was in my mom's eyes. The point is, there will be challenges that you'll have to face, but don't let those challenges stop you from accomplishing something great. There will be ups and downs, not only in high school, but in life. If you were fortunate enough to take perhaps one or many AP classes, you might know what these downs feel like. But they only made you stronger. May your futures be blessed with only the highest of highs. If not, I know we're all prepared to face whatever life throws at us. Third, don't forget where you came from. Class of 2022. Do you remember our school, our freshman year with no renovations, no third gym, no inside turf field, or no outside classrooms? So much has changed since we've been here, but there's no doubt we're leaving our legacy here as it is growing. Fourth, senioritis is real. I fortunately am vaccinated for senioritis, so I never had to face the harsh reality of it. Many kids were, however, plagued by the cruel disease that is staying up at night and playing video games, skipping class to go get Herbalife teas or Chipotle, or simply losing track of time because you're on Doors for Wheels TikTok. But for all of you that are here with me today, I applaud you for not falling victim to the evil that is senioritis. And finally, my fifth thing. The potential of the class of 2022 is unlimited. There are so many brilliant minds in here tonight. And I can't wait to see what the future has in store for all of you. Street poet and philosopher Drake once said, "I just take the dreams I've been sold and sell them for more, you already know, watch out for me, I'm about to blow. And this is our opportunity to do just that. We are the future, so let's make it a good one. Make tomorrow and every day after that impactful in terms of improving your life and the world around us. This is our time to truly reach our full potential. So let's seize the moment and make the most of it. Phew, those 5 sure did feel like 100 to me. So let's, in all seriousness, the memories I have made with all of you stick with me for years to come. I encourage you all to continue making memories with the people you love and doing what you love. May you think back on high school with joy and positive experiences. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And with that being said, I think I can speak for all of us when I say, whoa, I can't believe we're graduating. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elizabeth Dean.
Good evening, graduates, family, friends, faculty, administrators, and all those in the audience who have made such an impact on our lives. I would first like to thank the administration for giving me this opportunity, and give a special thank you to Mr. Tapp, who assigned us this assignment in the first place and gave me 2 points off for bad punctuation. Without further ado, my 138 out of 140 commencement address. Around February this year, I was having a terrible night. The ones where you're crying, but you're not sure why you're crying, and then you're embarrassed you're crying, and I know we've all had it, so don't lie. Anyway, my dad came in my room and found me crying on my bed, and after letting me calm down a bit, he told me something that made me really think. He said that on a person's gravestone, there are 3 things: their name, the day they were born, and the day they died. But what's often forgotten is that little dash in the middle. And within that dash are all of the moments that made up that person's life. He went on to list a few, like marrying my mom, watching my siblings and I grow up, and taking me to auto shows at Bartle Hall as a kid. Then I thought about what memories make up my dash. The first few involve the same people, the ones I spent most of my time with here at Staley. For instance, after an honor band we had in February, I was driving some friends home, and on the way there we blasted and sang Disney music at the top of our lungs. Another example is when my dear friend Tucker Settles and I were waiting to be checked in at Allstate, and we leaned over the balcony and counted how many bald men looked at this one band director we know. And it was more fun than it sounds, I swear, it was so boring there. But it's those little core memories that make up life. The ones that we remember most after all this time has passed. In other words, don't make life about the embarrassing and awkward, and quite frankly, terrible moments that could have happened in the walls of Staley High School. Instead, remember the fun, random moments that made you laugh uncontrollably or left you feeling more full than you first felt. Now, I'm not going to enforce that notion upon you or challenge you to make every moment of high school something great and amazing, because I know I won't. So why should I ask you? But what I do think is important to take away from this is just how special some moments in your life are. For instance, finding that special someone in your life, moving into your own apartment, or tonight, the final time that this group of people will ever be in one place again. And how maybe we, myself included, should take a moment or 2 each day and just think about those moments. Might make your day a little better. Now, quick poll before I go. Raise your hand if you've seen The Office. Okay. For those of you who raised your hands, I appreciate you guys having great taste. Anyway, in the very last episode, Andy Bernard says something that I've always kind of remembered, seeing as though it's literally ingrained in my brain from watching the show more times than I showed up to school on time. And my first hour teachers can attest, as I see them nodding. He says, I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you actually left them. For a lot of us, our good old days will revolve around the relationships and memories made with peers and staff here at Staley. So hold on to those days, those moments, those memories, and those friendships. I know I will. They make up my dash. What makes up yours? Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, performing I Sing Because I'm Happy by Robo Delworth is a belt. At this time, Assistant Principal Kevin Cooey will introduce our commencement faculty speaker.
Good evening. A faculty speaker at commencement is deeply rooted in tradition, gaining notoriety at Ivy League universities beginning in the 1700s. Staley High School is also rooted in tradition, as noted by the gonfalons that now stand behind me, as well as our traditional commencement gowns worn this evening. A faculty speaker has now graced the stage at Staley's commencement for the past 13 years. Our very first commencement speaker will also have a role in tonight's faculty speech. I have the distinct pleasure of presenting this year's faculty speaker, Mr. Scott Anderson. Scott earned both his bachelor's degree and master's degree from the University of Kansas. A 29-year veteran teacher, he was a Staley original, spending the past 14 years at Staley High School teaching AP Psychology. Scott was also our first girls' head soccer coach, and after retiring from coaching a few years ago, Scott returned as an assistant coach to help Coach Chang in our girls' program the past few seasons. He also announces our soccer games from time to time and is a fan favorite as the voice of Staley soccer when he yells out, "Go!" Scott also serves as the assistant student council sponsor and was instrumental in bringing our annual homecoming parade to campus. Previously, Mr. Anderson taught 15 years at North Kansas City High School, where he served as head soccer coach for the Hornets. When asked about Mr. Anderson's amazing career and his effect on young people, longtime friend and fellow Staley High School colleague, Mr. Jairus Taft, had this to say: "What I will miss most about Scott is his ability to make the darkest days so much brighter. He is a kid at heart. He has never lost that sense of wonderment with the world or with the people. He truly wants to know who you are, know the kids, their interests, their activities, their struggles, and their celebrations. He is a good friend, and I will miss him dearly." When asked about the impact Mr. Anderson has left at Staley High School, longtime friend and colleague Mr. Buck had this to say: "Mr. Anderson is a resident expert when it comes to AP Psychology. He is full of energy and loves what he does. Most of all, Mr. Anderson cares about people. It is obvious that he truly loves and cares for his students. In short, Mr. Anderson's teaching philosophy is about relationships, making each and every student feel valued." One of the most memorable conversations I have had with Scott occurred years ago when we were planning our traditional homecoming events. Everyone knows that Staley High School does homecoming like no other. There was much excitement about that upcoming week. However, Scott's comments summed up what I already knew about this special educator and what I will miss most about him during his retirement. He said, "What makes Staley High School special isn't all the events, it's the people, especially the students." At this time, please welcome to the stage my colleague, my friend, Mr. Scott Anderson.
Wow, there are a lot of grown-up faces looking at me. I'm used to this, not this, so I'll do my best. Mr. Cooey, thank you so much for that warm introduction. And thank you to this amazing senior class for this incredible honor. I'm humbled by your vote, and I'm excited to speak on this special occasion. As Mr. Cooey said, I actually did speak at the very first graduation in May of 2010. It was out at the football stadium, but we still did it on campus. It was super hot that day. It was super windy. I remember sweat was pouring down my face. And really all anybody heard because of the wind was nobody heard a word I said. So I'm excited to actually get back and say some words tonight. So as I began to prepare for this speech, I thought about what I would say tonight. Many of you, of course, were my AP students, and you got a chance on your last day to hear my words of wisdom speech that I always give. And then I had you sit on the floor and I read over places you'll go. Many of you cried that day with the realization that high school was coming to an end. But of course, let's be honest, I cried the most because I'm just a big baby at heart. So I've shared a ton of stuff with you already. So the question is really, is there anything left for me to say? You know, I guess I could talk about what a lot of commencement speakers talk about. Live in the moment. Don't get caught up in the future. Just live in the now. I'd be a total hypocrite if I gave that speech, because as most of you know that have me as a teacher over the last few years, I've had an electronic countdown to retirement, counting down by the minute to this day. Dr. Clemens, sorry about that. Hope I don't get fired over that one. Anyway, I also could talk about another theme that a lot of speakers talk about, and that's embracing change. You know, your world's constantly in flux, and you need to love and accept all the changes with open arms. Yeah. Well, not so much from this guy either. Because let's be honest, on that occasion too, I taught the same subject, AP Psych, in the same classroom, CR 265, and I've done the same horrible bad jokes year after year. So no, that really isn't me either. And then it hit me a few weeks ago, the theme that I do model and I believe with all my heart. And that theme is doing everything with passion, energy, and enthusiasm. So what do I mean by the word passion? Well, I think, old Noah Webster said it best when he defined passion as a strong liking or desire for or devotion to some activity, object, or concept. In other words, loving and working hard at everything you do. Small things, big things, and even the things you don't think are possible. Always do them with your whole heart and mind. Oprah Winfrey once said, quote, passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. Let her words be the guide in everything you do. So I've tried my best to emulate these virtues in my day-to-day life. For example, Mr. Cooey told you about how I was the soccer announcer, and I always screamed really loud for the dear old Falcons. Okay, I mean like really stupidly loud. And in fact, our ADs through the year have gotten countless emails, letters, phone calls about how impartial or how I'm not impartial on the microphone. But I don't care. It's for you guys. It's for the Falcons. I'm going to scream for you guys, of course. My passion is for Staley High School and for the students of this place. The reality is, though, I'm not the only person here with that kind of passion. Several of my colleagues have it too. We have a teacher here who is so dedicated to his job and his students that he's usually at school by 5:30 a.m. every morning, grading essays and making videos for his students so they can be better writers. Mr. Tapp, I know you hate that kind of attention, but your passion is obvious to everyone. Passion also radiates out of our fine arts wing. Mr. Residie has built one of the most amazing choirs in the nation, with hundreds of kids involved. Both men and women love being in our choir program because of him and his passion for singing. But Rez, while I got the microphone, you gotta let those kids dance once in a while. Come on, let them dance. Passion can also be found in our global languages department. Prof. Mackie Bergson and Madame Downing have a deep love of learning and teaching, but also care deeply about mental health. Their mindfulness movement for both staff and students alike is changing lives in our building and helping everyone deal with life stressors. And where does all that passion come from, you ask? The same as the other, a burning desire to never settle for just doing the minimum, all of those individuals go above and beyond what is necessary, and it shows. It is not just staff members here who exemplify passion, but many of you as well. I remember last year when Emmanuel Bird decided to run for student body president, even without being a member of the leadership class, because he had a drive to help Staley get back on its feet following the pandemic. His enthusiasm and excitement were everywhere, and it was contagious, and it led to him winning the election. Caitlin Montemayor has had a huge passion for Notre Dame University since I first met her 3 years ago. Okay, she probably had it from the time she came out of the womb, but that's beside the point. She put all of that passion into her application and was accepted to Notre Dame, the first Staley grad to ever do so. Kiara Escalene loves her Puerto Rican heritage and all the different cultures in our school community. She wanted to celebrate them, so along with some of her fellow students, she organized the first ever Diversity Week here at Staley that culminated with an amazing assembly celebrating our school's diversity. Her passion did that. And then there was the student who went to Costa Rica over spring break. She enjoyed ziplining, whitewater rafting, and hiking. However, her heart was never far from what was near and dear to her, the legacy, the school yearbook. Selena Escutia brought her laptop with her and spent bus rides and plane rides working on that book for all of you. That is amazing commitment and passion by that young lady. So what do all these examples mean, you ask? It means simply be passionate in life. Be your best at whatever you choose. If that's being a doctor, a teacher, a car salesman, a member of our military, whatever you choose, always do it with passion and enthusiasm. And gang, it's not just in the workplace, it's in everything in your life. Be the best husband, wife, partner, whatever, so that you make everyone happy. And along those same lines, be the best friend, son, daughter you can too. Life is way too short to troll along just being average. Be amazing at whatever you do. Pour your heart and soul into whatever it is. My good friend Kim Harper from the Gift to Life organization comes to speak to my classes every year to talk about the importance of sharing your wish concerning organ donation. Each year she shares the quote, if you're gonna do something, do it with love. Do something you love. That to me sums up the entire message. Whatever you choose to do in life, pick something you love with all your heart and then run with it. Be passionate about it. Go all in. Speaking of going all in, your generation Socrates, Olivia Rodrigo, once sang, maybe I'm too emotional. Well, Olivia, I got news for you. It's okay to be emotional. You can never be too emotional. Live your life with emotion, passion, and enthusiasm, and your world and everyone's world will be a better place for it. So now, our time at Staley is coming to an end. But it's just the beginning of what's going to be an extraordinary life for you if you embrace it and then live with passion and joy each and every day. I wish you all the best on behalf of the staff of Staley High School, and let me be the first to congratulate you on behalf of them. Now, I will exit just as many of you exited your sport, activity, etc. through the years via Instagram. Scotty Ray out.
Caitlin Grace Montemayor. Aiden Connor Davis. Logan Ray Williams. Alexa Ferris. Bryce Warner McCarthy. Carla Jo Cummings. Serena Elizabeth Dalton. Madison Ann Bevel. Julia Ann Barbie. Thomas N. Devin Richards. Abigail McKinley White. Caden Grady Pyle. Carson Daniel Meyer. Desiree M. Miller. Nathan Wayne Zambelli. Otavio Miranda. Rachel Joy Egaman. Margaret Atalani Balfanua. Mason Christopher Wilson. Van Jameson Hamilton. Riley Alexander Melton. Seth Matthew Herring. Danny Amber Williams. Jack Hendricks Sargent. Devin D. Williams. Anthony D. Cosentino. Hunter Jeffrey Tidwell. Abraham Alec Villalba. Carmen Ashley Davis. Max Edward Browning. Ashley Luann Ray. Aiden Van Coulter. Celia Marie Porter. Anaí Giselle Buenrostro. Angelina Jade Buckley. Tyler James Tomlinson. Elena Maria Rafaela Bedoya. Zachary Morgan Sherwood.